What's up, guys? 10th Element here. Going to be doing our second video of the channel today. I'm going to be doing 5 underrated NBA players in no particular order. I'm going to name 5 players who I think deserve a lot more credit than they're actually getting on the court. So how about we begin with number 5. You might know him, might not know him. Darren Collison. He's been around the league for a little bit. I know he's played for Sacramento. I think he played for the Clippers at one point. Now he's on the Pacers. But plays point guard. This past season, he averaged about 12.4 points, 3 rebounds, about 5 assists, and about 1.5 steals. He's a pretty good player. He's always been around the league, averaging like around 10, 5, and 3. But the Pacers, when he's at the lead at point, they're scoring 111 points per 100 possessions, and that's only trailing the Golden State Warriors. So as you can imagine, that's pretty incredible on the offensive standpoint. He also led the league in three-point shooting this year at 46.8%, and he's very efficient, has very good production. And the NBA, there's a lot of players who just score, just pass. He kind of does a mixture of everything. He's not spectacular in one thing. He's also a pretty good defender. He shoots 88% from the free throw line. And his player efficiency rating, and if you guys are into advanced stats, is 18.8, which is better than Paul George, Devin Booker, and Bradley Beal. And he assists on more than 1/4 of the Pacers' buckets. Number 4, we have Tobias Harris, who just recently joined the Detroit Pistons. Oh, no, he just joined the Clippers from the Pistons. So he came over in the Blake Griffin trade. He was on the Pistons, and we all know that Blake Griffin went to the Pistons and Tobias went to the Clippers. So he averaged about 18.6 points, 5.5 rebounds, 2.4 assists. And when he joined the Clippers, he actually ended up averaging 19.8 points per game, almost reaching 20. And he also shot 41% from 3 and 47% from the field. And he's a very athletic player. He plays small forward, power forward, very big, very muscular. You can definitely he's one of the better players in the league who can drive in the lane. And as his career keeps getting forward, he's learning to actually shoot the ball from deep mid-range and even three-point. And his career three-point has gone up every single year. So that's definitely a plus on his side. And he also has the best player efficiency rating and true shooting percentage on his team, and it's also the best of his career. So he shoots about 3.5% better from the open three than about the average guard in the NBA. So that's pretty incredible. And he can rebound and he can shoot quite well. There's not much really missing from his game. He's been in the league for a couple years. He's getting better and better. I don't think he'll ever reach the point, or he'll never be a superstar, as we can all tell. Might be a 1 or 2 year All-Star, which he may deserve later in his career, maybe even next year. But I would say if he keeps averaging about 19, 18, he might eventually get to the All-Star level. And he's not the best defender, but if he keeps that up, he might get there as well. Number 3, I think one of my favorite players in the NBA, Chris Middleton. Plays for the Milwaukee Bucks. He can either be a 2 or a 3. I think he's one of the best true shooters in the entire NBA. I think that Kevin Durant is the best shooter in the NBA. But this might be a little bold, but I think he's not close, but he's one of the closer players to Durant in true shooting. He's a very good pull-up shooter. He can shoot off the catch. He can shoot off the dribble. This past season, he averaged 20 points. He shot 47% from the field. He had about 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and this has definitely been the best year of his career, as he also had one of the best defensive ratings in his career, and he also averaged about 1.5 steals. He was an absolute beast in the playoffs this past year. I know that the Bucks went to the Game 7 with the Celtics and didn't come out on top, but he shot 61% from 3. And he wasn't taking 1 a game where he made like 3 out of 5 in the series. He was taking 5 threes a game on average, and he averaged 18, 4, and 4 with 2 steals in the playoffs. He's 6'8". He can play the 2 or 3. He's good size, has really long length, and there's not really too much missing from his game. He's definitely underrated. I think he should definitely make an all-star team in the next year and a half, maybe 2 years. There's definitely players who I think don't deserve it, but I think Chris definitely deserves it. If not the next year, the year after, if he keeps this up. I would say he had the range in like the 22, 23 point game to end up
This
getting
man
that. Definitely deserves some recognition in the next couple years or so. He's averaging 20 a game, and no one's even batting an eye when it comes to his name. I don't think the Bucks wouldn't have been nearly as good without him this past year. And I think the Bucks had about 40-something wins, and there's no way they get to that without him scoring 20 a game. he had a fantastic year, and I can't wait to see what else he brings to the Bucks. Hopefully, they can make the playoffs again next year and can get even further. And hopefully, he's even added to the All-Star team. So we'll see. At number 2, we have the big man from the Denver Nuggets, Nikola Jokic. This guy is one of my least favorite players, to be honest, but I got to give it to him. I'm a Spurs fan, so I didn't like when the Nuggets were beating us and this guy was dropping triple-doubles on us. But this past season, he averaged about 18.5 points, shot 50% from the field, had 11 rebounds a game, and 6 assists. He damn well near averaged a triple-double on the entire season. I know he was about 4 assists off, but he's definitely one of the better big men in the entire league and doesn't get any recognition for it. I think he's the best big man, best center, best passing center in the entire league. There's nobody I think who even comes close to him. And he's only 23 years old. He's a baby. He just got in the league. He was a no-name. I think he was drafted 40th overall. And now he's one of the best centers. He shoots 40% from 3 and shoots 85% from the free throw line. Not many centers can say that they shoot 40% from 3 and 85% from the line. He's also one of the best pick-and-pop players where he can set some nice screens and go behind the three-point line and hit some shots. He's definitely a good mid-range shooter. He'll just shoot it right in your face and he'll drain it, just like Kevin Durant would. His PER is 24.4, which is one of the highest in the entire league. I believe it's top 20. There's no doubt in my mind he deserves an All-Star selection. He led the Nuggets to a 46-36 record, and they didn't make the playoffs. The playoffs were definitely really close this year, as we all know, in the West, with a half-game lead, here and out. And they finished 9th, and if they finished with the same record but were in the East, they would have been 6th in the East. So he's clearly leading the team to the playoff potential. I think he's just going to get better and better. This man definitely deserves to be known. He's super close to averaging a triple-double and needs a lot more recognition when it comes to defending him. Number 1, Kemba Walker, point guard for the Charlotte Hornets. I definitely think he's one of the better, if not has better handles than Kyrie Irving himself. Might be a little risky saying that, but his PER is 20.62. It's 33rd in the league, which is pretty darn good. I know he made the All-Star team last year and this year, so he definitely deserved that. I think he just deserves to have his name brought up more when it comes to a top 5 point guard. He shoots a career 40% from 3, which is only getting better. He averaged about 22 points, 3 rebounds, and 6 assists this last year. He averaged about 1.5 steals and is also a very legitimate defender now. He can guard one, maybe just the point guard position, but he's definitely getting better at that. There's nobody good on this guy's team. Let's all get that out of the way. Hornets suck. They've always sucked. They got Mason Plumlee as their starting center. Dwight Howard's washed up. They're paying Nick Batum way too much, but this guy's nuts. The Hornets' net rating plummets from positive 11.2 to a minus 22.9 when he's off the floor, which is the worst in the NBA with a starter off the court, besides the Cavaliers with LeBron. But the Hornets are terrible, and this man's handles are insane. He can shoot the ball well. Over his career, he's gotten a lot better at finishing in the lane. He's a good passer. He's improving every single year. I think he deserves to have the superstar name brought up with his name. We all know he's an all-star. I think eventually he'll be able to become a superstar. I just think he needs to average about 25 and become more of a not bigger defender, but he definitely needs to have the it factor when it comes to defense. I'm not really sure he has it. He can definitely shoot mid-range jumpers, and the Hornets, they're not a very good team, but they do have one of the top picks this year, and who knows who they're going to take, probably some bum, but Kemba Walker definitely deserves to have his name talked about more, as he's one of the better point guards in the league, and no one recognizes him. So that's it, guys. That's my second video. Any comments, suggestions, whatever you want to talk about, let me know. Thanks. See ya.